I'm going to be rebuilding the Jacksonville Jaguars because they are an absolute embarrassment to the NFL. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like and or subscribe. Let's see if we can get 100 likes on this video. I would appreciate that. But moving straight into the video, the Jacksonville Jaguars, I know I'm late to this, got absolutely stomped by the Lions. Absolute embarrassment by the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are 2-9 on the season. The team seems good on paper, but it's really not. Trevor Lawrence is extremely overrated, and a lot of people will be like, oh, it's the coaching, it's this, it's that, it's the offensive line. I mean, he's not the worst player you've ever seen. Sure, he could seem like the long-term guy for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not going to say could, because obviously he got a massive contract, which he in no way, shape, or form deserved. And I know a lot of people will be like, oh, it's a new QB market. Just because the Browns are stupid enough to give Deshaun Watson that big of a contract, and the Giants are dumb enough to give Daniel Jones that big of a contract, also look how terribly both of those contracts worked out. Just because someone's dumb enough to do that doesn't mean you have to follow in their footsteps and then quote-unquote reset the QB market. All these massive contracts for these undeserving quarterbacks such as Deshaun Watson, Daniel Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott, all those are just some examples of a bunch of QBs who aren't performing at their contract level. Dak is the highest paid QB, highest NFL player in history, and he did not play up to it. Of course, he's injured now. Trevor Lawrence is not playing up to his contract. Oh, well, it's a new QB market. You're willing to tell me that this dude is going to get paid $78 million in 2029 and 2030? Absolutely not. He's getting a $150 million total salary. In what way, shape, or form has this man done anything other than be selected #1 overall, anything relevant for this Jaguars team? Sure, he won one playoff game against the Chargers. Does that deserve a $150 million contract on his total salary? Absolutely not. But I'm not just ripping into Trevor Lawrence, I'm just ripping into the organization in general, because year after year, I just always think that the Jaguars are going to just push that leap and, actually compete in the AFC South, which was a terrible division before the season. You had the Texans, who were questionable with CJ Stroud. He was a rookie in his previous year. You never knew until he started playing, and he looked amazing. And then the Titans are questionable right now. The Colts are questionable with Richardson. I thought the Jaguars were really going to make that push this year, but they are an extreme disappointment to the entire NFL. But the upsides on this team, Evan Ingram and Travis Etienne both look great. Pairing with Tank Bigsby is also great as well. Brian Thomas Jr. is amazing. Christian Kirk is out for the year with a broken collarbone. And then Gabe Davis is also out for the year. They gave him a pretty big contract. He's only a 75 overall here. And then, of course, the O-line interior-wise, it looks good, but Mitch Morse and Brandon Scherff are both pretty old. We need new offensive tackles. I haven't really heard much from Anton Harrison. They traded away Cam Robinson to the Vikings at the midseason mark. And then they're in a 3-4 scheme. I'll probably change that. Josh Hines, Allen, Trayvon Walker. Don't get me wrong, I love Trayvon Walker. Every time I do a Jags rebuild, I'm always going to rip on this pick, dude. Everybody knew Aiden Hutchinson was that guy, and you still chose Trayvon Walker. Again, I'm not saying he's bad, but are you going to tell me that he's better than Aiden Hutchinson? I think not. And then for the rest of the defense, why is Foeside Oluokun coming off the edge? He's a pass coverage guy in a 3-4 scheme. That doesn't make any sense. Why is he as an outside linebacker? Yeah, I need to move him to the inside linebacker, and this 100% is going to be shifted into a 4-3 defense. Makes much more sense. Tyson Campbell, I always gas this guy up, but he really hasn't been crazy this year. He's usually really underrated. There's a lot of work to do with this Jaguars team. On paper, it looks really good, but in real life, man, it's atrocious. And in Madden, Trevor Lawrence is actually really good. Let me change these playbooks real quick. And these are my meta playbooks, if you guys were wondering. And by meta playbook, I mean you can either go 9-8 and miss the playoffs, or you're going to go 15-2 and get a first-round bye. It's total hit or miss. But as I was saying before, Trevor Lawrence is amazing in Madden simulation from what I found. And of course, I'm going to have to keep him on this team because of his contract. I won't be able to trade him away or cut him in general because it will take a huge penalty. Mac Jones here, former first-round pick, as the backup. Brian Thomas will be the #1 throughout the year. Evan Ingram will also be one of the top receivers for him as well. And then I'm going to move Eric Armstead inside to defensive tackle, which what he was playing at for the 49ers. He's 290, 6'7". Of course, he can play there. And then that looks a lot better. Foeside Oluokun as an outside linebacker in the 3-4 scheme, in the 4-3 scheme, my bad, not 3-4. Much better that way. Specialist-wise, Kirk should not be in the slot. Nobody should be in the slot here. Gabe Davis, I'm sure they're just going to give them reps anyways, which is super annoying, which Christian Kirk did start half the year, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. Everything else here looks good. So for now, I did force a lot of these wins, and by that I'm not saying I cheated. I just gave the Jaguars two wins to 9 losses, which their real record is in real life. Obviously, I didn't actually match it up with the correct teams they won and lost to. I just did it to where, we could just go to I think we're in week 13 now, so that way we can just go to week 13 and then just start as 2-9. So obviously the Jaguars are on a bye week in real life. They're 2-9 in real life. I obviously didn't get everyone's records correct because it's just about the Jaguars rebuild. That's all I care about. The Jaguars aren't going to make the playoffs this year. Obviously, they already have 9 losses. Of course, they're not going to make it. So from here on out, I'm just going to let the AI decide. And then we got some players ready to negotiate. Andre Cisco, 24 years old. He's a 79 overall. Star development. He's young. I want him back. He resigns on a 4-year contract. Brandon Scherff, he's old. He doesn't want to be here. He wants the team to have a franchise QB. Really disappointing that we don't have a franchise QB tag on a player that I'm paying $150 million in salary to. Walker Little, he wants $6 million a year. Honestly, as a 2-year player, that's honestly not bad. I won't mind that for sure. And then you got Mac Jones, Tim Jones, Dearness Johnson, and then all these other extras just not interested in. Devin Lloyd and Trayvon Walker. Trayvon Walker, I'd rather just pay him his contract since he's a low overall. I'd rather just get him on the cheap. And then Devin Lloyd, same deal here. I'd rather just pay them the contract, so I'm just not going to accept their options. And then Brandon Scherff, again, I would like him back, but it's going to be a 1-year deal even if I have to overpay for him, and he re-signs on that. $20 million left in cap space. Maybe should have saved a little bit more of that, but for now, let's move into the playoffs. And we finished 7-10, a comeback on the season. That's not what I wanted at all for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I maybe shouldn't have changed the playbooks. That's completely my fault. The meta playbooks worked when I didn't want them to, as we only lose 1 game ever since I switched out of those playbooks. Really sucks for me, but I guess it is what it is. Stats and awards, Trevor Lawrence, really good actually. I mean, 16th pass rating, but still 11th best offense, 6th best defense here. And we go 7-10, missed the playoffs, 19 interceptions, 33 touchdowns, 4,200 yards, 98 pass rating. It's because the playbooks that I inserted really should have waited to change those. 3 fumbles from ETN, but only 5 touchdowns, but 4.1 per carry. Devin Duvernay here with 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns because of the injuries, and 100 receptions. Brian Thomas, 950 yards, 4 touchdowns. Evan Ingram, 900 yards, 7 touchdowns. Parker Washington getting in work, ETN as well. And then obviously, wow, Christian Kirk and Gabe Davis didn't get anything because, of course, I benched them due to injury. Then Foyesade Oluokun gets 113 tackles for a loss, 16 for Josh Hines Allen, 14 for Trayvon Walker, 13 for Eric Armstead, 13 for Hamilton, sacks 22 for Hines Allen, 9 for Walker, 5.5 for Armstead, 3 for Foyesade Oluokun, 3 interceptions for Oluokun and Wingard here, and then deflections on the team, 8 for Darby, 6 for Oluokun and Wingard, and then safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. And the Saints with Derek Carr lose in the Super Bowl to Lamar Jackson, who wins the Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes wins another league MVP. Derrick Henry wins the Offensive Player of the Year. Josh Hines Allen, Defensive Player of the Year. Good stuff. In the AFC South, Case Keenum, Nick Folk, and Joe Flacco all retired. For the team upgrades, offensively, we look almost the exact same. We have Evan Ingram, who gets Superstar X Factor. Devin Duvernay, who gets Star Development, but Devin Duvernay is already 27 years old. Defensively, Muma here gets Star Development. I feel like he gets Star Development in every simulation I do, and then obviously Hines was already an X Factor. Then Chad Muma here, he is 26 years old already. I doubt this dude even makes it to an 80 overall. For the players ready to negotiate, again, Devin Lloyd, Trayvon Walker, I'm just not going to accept the option because I'd rather just pay them. I wish there was an option just to pay them now, which you can pay players early in real life, but all these other extras, not interested in. I have $39 million to spend, but I got to remember that I got to spend it wisely because we have a huge backload on Trevor Lawrence's contract. We already got DeMarcus Lawrence here off the rip. I don't need that. We also have Tyron Smith, which isn't a bad shout for 1 year. Just nobody really has an interest with playing on our team. We got Jordan Mason, who I don't need. Cam Robinson is back in free agency. I'm not going to pay you $12 million a year. So Walker Little is just going to be fine for now. Rondale Moore. I wish I could dump Christian Kirk, which has actually been rumored in real life that they were trying to trade Christian Kirk to the Steelers before he broke his collarbone. So there's that. After free agency, I signed a lot of 1-year depth players. We got Mike Hilton and Jamal Adams both on 1-year contracts. Then we got Jack Gibbons on a 2-year contract. Just a lot of depth players here. A lot of top players really weren't even in this class here. DeMarcus Lawrence, Tyron Smith, a lot of really older players here. Sure, you have Jalen Warren, a guy I don't need, along with Jordan Mason. So a lot of this free agency class was just pretty weak. And we have pick number 11 in the draft. If we just stayed on course with our 2-9 pace in real life, we would definitely have top 5, if not a top 3 pick. Browns have the number 1 overall pick. It better be a QB here, and it will be a QB despite Deshaun Watson's contract. Good for them. The Giants will probably take a QB as well. No, it's going to be an outside linebacker. But we are at pick number 11 now. Looking at the rest of the board, it looks like it wasn't a heavy QB class. I don't even know why I'm looking at that. Trevor Lawrence is really, really good in simulation. Hopefully you could say that in real life eventually. Greg Bryant, top 5 wide receiver, hasn't been picked yet. Most likely normal development, but he looks good. He looks really good. Oh, man. I want to trade Christian Kirk because that's actually a realistic move. As I said before, he was looking to go to the Steelers before it actually happened, but then he broke his collarbone. I don't really like Gabe Davis, and I don't really need a receiver, but if this guy falls into my lap, I'm really tempted to pull the trigger on this. He's probably going to have normal development. He's a top 5 talent. That's at pick number 11. The AI passed on him for a reason, but he looks so good. Other than his speed, Greg Bryant's here, 2 first names as his last name, A's and B's across the board. Like, what's there not to like with this guy? A to C awareness. I'm picking him anyways. Probably has normal development. Ranked number 2 in the class. Got him at number 11. Hidden development. Why was this guy passed on so much? Out of Alabama, 89 speed, 94 acceleration. This dude looks sick. What a steal. And you guys already know what's about to go down. Christian Kirk and his massive contract is about to be dumped off to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Realistically, you're not trading Christian Kirk for a second-round pick. I think a 3rd is the most you're going to get. Realistically, you would probably trade away like a 4th and a 5th or a 4th and a 6th for him. But we're just going to settle for this here. You could probably get a 2nd for him in Madden. So Christian Kirk to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a 3rd-round pick. So looking at our receiving core, we do have Devin Duvernay, who's not a bad pickup for now, but I don't see him as a long-term guy. And then Gabe Davis. I'm just not a fan of Gabe Davis. You can call me a hater if you want to, but his contract isn't going to last much longer. I don't really plan on keeping him with the team in general. In the 2nd round, pick number 11, there is a free safety here that looks good. I know I don't need a free safety. I just signed Andre Sisco, but Darnell Savage is only 78 overall. He's already at 28. He's going to start regression. Is this just another guy that people passed on? Great strength, good speed, good acceleration. Ran a 4.44 at his pro day and at the combine here. B's across the board. Tackling is a C. Another guy here, Shaden Franklin out of Tennessee, 6 foot, 200 pounds, decent strength. Doesn't look as good as the other guy. The other guy I kind of want to pull the trigger on. And then there's Rambo here. Dude, Nasir Rambo. What a last name. A hit power. Physical player who delivers bone-crushing hits. Almost 6 foot. Might as well call him that. We're 5'11". I'm coping because I'm 5'11". Weight 222 here. Marginal speed. Don't like. It looks good. It really looks good. He's athletically, I guess, challenged, if you want to call it that. Marginal speed of 4.6, not something I like. So I'm going to look at other players. But Dwight Gray, on the other hand, A awareness here, strong safety, B tackle, B zone coverage, physicals, good speed, good acceleration, good strength, a lot more well-balanced, bone-crushing hits from this guy as well, but his hit power is ranked a C, so I don't know how that works. And you know what? I'm switching it up. Craig Fulton here looks pretty good. He's out of Wisconsin, 6 foot, 184, a little light here, but A catching, B zone coverage, zone archetype here, elite acceleration, good speed, great change of direction, good jumping, good agility, solid strength, A catching, B tackle, B zone coverage. Craig Fulton here. I need more corners to help Tyson Campbell here. Mike Hilton's on a 1-year contract. Craig Fulton ranked 11 in the class. Got him at 43. Hidden development. Absolute W pick right there. Now I want to look into, hold up, I was about to say I want to look into center to replace Mitch Morse, but my God, this DB class looks sick. B to D awareness on this guy out of Oklahoma State. Elite jumping, solid speed, blah, blah, blah. A tackle. C man coverage. D zone coverage. Never mind. And all the centers are post UDFAs now. How about left guards? Sure, we'll look at that. In the 3rd round, picking up right guard, Jamarcus Harris here, ranked 64 in the class. Got him up at 75 here. Going to move him inside to center. Normal development really blows here. He had so many A's across the board. Was really hoping he would have hidden development. And we have back-to-back picks here, so maybe I can pick up someone else. No, I'm not going to go for offensive line again. But this defensive tackle, Brian Carter, 303 out of Florida State, 6'1". He has elite speed, elite jumping, great acceleration, good strength, A finesse moves, B block shedding, B play recognition. He looks great. We're going to use a 3rd round pick on him. Ranked 90 in the class. Hidden development, though. That's what you like to see. Very athletic. A's and B's across the board. And we actually have 3 3rd round picks. I did not know that. Now using another 3rd round pick on middle linebacker, Eric Dawson, who I'm going to put at left outside linebacker. Ranked 59 in the class. Got him at 87. Normal development. Again, he looked really good athletically. A's and B's across the board as well. And now I'm going to be trading away one of my 4th round picks for the Buccaneers next year's 3rd. So I'm just trading up for next year's draft. So that was a very long but solid draft for us. Greg Bryant is an 80 overall. I can't believe that dude just got passed on for no reason. Craig Fulton, actually great. Actually, this was a really good draft. Jamarcus Harris, no development, but it's fine for now. Brian Carter, development. Eric Dawson didn't have one, but he seems pretty solid. Stopped drafting after that. Now, this is the team after the draft. Bryant is going to be, let's have him as the number 2 in the slot. Gabe Davis, I don't even care about anymore. Receivers are looking nice, and then we're going to have this guy, not Hodges, Jamarcus Harris, who's a 74 overall. I'm already going to make him a starter over Mitch Morse because Mitch Morse is going to be on his way out for this franchise. So maybe Harris can just develop a little bit past him, and I won't have to worry about paying a center, even though he only has normal development. Might look to replace him later. And then Warmack here, looks like the AI picked up a star development or better safety. So Fulton is a 78 overall. Carter is a 71. Honestly, let's make him the starter off the rip. And then Gibbons, I'm honestly not make Jack Gibbons, the other guy that I drafted. Let's make him the left outside linebacker. Dude looks exactly like Chad Muma if Chad Muma had an AI generated face scan, but he's already a higher overall out there. So I'm going to leave him there. Specialist wise, I'm actually going to make my new rookie the slot wide receiver. Fulton's in the slot there. You got Jamal Adams and Wingard as well. Everything else is looking pretty good there, and I'm happy with what I got. So for now, let's move into the midseason mark. And Greg Bryant's a 79 overall slot player, so I don't even know why they wouldn't have him there in the first place, but it's fine, I guess. 5-2 at the midseason mark. Our defensive passing game is 23rd. That's fine with me. We have a lot of low overalls at that position. Defensive rushing game is 20th. Defensive tackles are low overall as well, but 5-2. Happy to see it. We're at the top of the division, currently the 3 seed in our conference. Weekly awards after coming off a loss to the Niners. Brock Purdy gets there, but we also have Trayvon Walker getting 6 tackles and 3 sacks. Coming off a win to the Texans and then a loss to the Niners. Then we got to play the Titans and the Chargers. Pretty solid schedule. And then for the scouting national focus, I'm honestly going to go with corner again. I feel like we just need more depth there. And for the players we did to negotiate, Travis Etienne, going to give him a player-friendly deal, 4 years. He re-signs on that. And then Evan Ingram doesn't want to be here. We could have a franchise QB by the end of the year with the way we're playing, so I'm going to wait for his interest to jump. Then Devin Lloyd, I do want him back. Player-friendly, 5-year deal. He wants $15 million a year. It's quite a bit, but I'm still going to pay it to him. He's our starting middle linebacker. He's going to be great. Trayvon Walker, $15 million a year is pretty ridiculous for an 82 overall, but he did give me 9 sacks last year. He's only going to progress, so I will overpay for this, even though we've already overpaid for too many players. Then Devin Duvernay, I just don't want. Chad Muma, I don't want. Jamal Adams was just a 1-year player. Wingard, I don't want. Brendan Scherf, I'll probably get his replacement this season. It depends if you want to stay at the end of the year. His top motive is still to have a franchise QB. Again, that could change by the end of the year. And then all these other extras, including Mike Hilton, I just don't really want. Anton Harrison, I'll probably accept that option. I don't know if I'm going to fully pay him, though. Logan Cook, I'll probably let him walk and get someone else. Mitch Morse, I already got your replacement. So all that's good for now. $49 million to spend in the next season. But for now, let's see if we can make the playoffs. And we do make the playoffs at 13-4. We get the 2 seed. Bills get the 1 seed at 14-3. Coming off a loss to the Broncos in week 17, which could have pushed us there. But hey, we're an 86 overall team, and we have the 2nd best seed in our conference. I'll definitely take that. Stats and awards, Trevor Lawrence. Looks like a top 10 QB here to me, and then 11th best offense in the league, 17th best defense. Kind of regressed there a little bit, but 4,000 yards, my bad. 4,000 yards, 37 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 106 pass rating, better than last year. Travis Etienne, only 1 fumble this time, 11 touchdowns, 4.3 per carry, 1,100 yards, huge improvement from the previous year. Greg Bryant, the rookie, 95 receptions, 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns. He better have X factor. What a steal in the draft. I'll keep glazing myself. W pick to move on from Christian Kirk and Gabe Davis there. Devin Duvernay, 9 touchdowns, 800 yards. Evan Ingram with 800 yards, 1 touchdown, 9 touchdowns, and 750 yards for Brian Thomas. Fawcett Aluakon with 126 tackles for a loss, 15 for Hines Allen, 15 for Trayvon Walker, 12 for Mason Smith here, and then 11 for Eric Armstead. I'm pretty sure I have a friend who actually knows this guy in real life because he grew up in Florida, and then one of my friends lived near him in Florida as well, so that's pretty cool. I'm sure nobody cares, but sure, why not? Sacks here, 15.5 for Trayvon Walker. I'm glad I paid him that contract. This season right here deserves a superstar development. 10.5 sacks for Hines Allen, 7 for Eric Armstead, 5 for Mason Smith, interceptions 5 for Aluakon, 3 for the rookie Craig Fulton with 6 deflections, half a sack, 2 tackles for a loss, 83 tackles. That's a really good 2nd round pick. Tyson Campbell, Andre Sisco, and Mike Hilton all with 3 interceptions as well. Pass deflections, 9 for Tyson Campbell, 6 for Fulton, 6 for Cisco, and then safeties on the team is 1 for Hines Allen. Defensive touchdowns is 0. Can we beat the New York Jets to move on to the divisional round here? I don't even know if they still have Aaron Rodgers on the team. I don't know. He usually retires really quickly, and we got blown out 31-13. No way Rodgers did that to us. No, Zach Wilson is back on the Jets, and he just smoked us in the playoffs. There's no way. He's wearing number 6 now. That looks terrible. So that's an extremely annoying way to lose. We go 13-4 just to lose to the 9-8 Zach Wilson Jets. Infuriating way to lose, but you know, it's more infuriating losing your 5th Super Bowl. Actually, never mind. I thought the Bills lost. They won in their 5th Super Bowl, so now they're 1-4 for Super Bowls, but the Packers got demolished by the Bills here, 34-10, obviously. Josh Allen wins the Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes back-to-back league MVPs, and he gets the Offensive Player of the Year. Sharing is not caring. Greg Bryant, Offensive Rookie of the Year. That dude better have at least superstar development. He looks like an X factor. In the AFC South, Mitch Morse, Brandon Scherf, and Danico Autry all retire. For the team upgrades, Greg Bryant only comes with superstar development. I don't want to sound picky about that. Extreme steal in the draft. I'm going to keep glazing myself, but he got increased to superstar development, dude. He only came with star development. He is so good. He's too good to be just a star development, then upgraded to superstar. But you know what? I'll take it. The O-line is an absolute shambles now, so we're going to have to fix that. And then Trevor Lawrence is up to an 85 overall without the boost. And the team's an 85 overall. Dawson goes up to star development. Carter gets revealed star development. Eric Armstead is going down in overall. Mason Smith has jumped in overall. You'll have to see that. Trayvon Walker gets superstar development. And then Craig Fulton comes with star development. So shaping up really nicely here. Still got a little bit of work to do. Maybe replace Darnell Savage. I'm not going to lie. He's already 29. He's already regressing for the team. And then I need new corner as well. And then I still need more depth at the defensive tackle position. Eric Armstead probably won't last too much longer on this team. For the players ready to negotiate, Evan Ingram. This is exactly why I waited. I'll give him the 2-year contract. I was about to give him 4 years. I'll give him 2 years, $12 million a year. He re-signs with the team. Duvernay, I don't really want him. I have Gabe Davis, who I'm already paying $17 million in this next year. I don't really want him on the team. So he can walk. Chad Muma can walk. Jamal Adams can walk. Wingard as well. Anton Harrison, I'll accept the option just for another year with him because he's an 80 overall. And then Mike Hilton, honestly, still not bad depth there. If Mike Hilton's cheap, yeah, only $4 million. I'll sign this just as depth for 1 more year. $55 million to spend in free agency. We do have Joe Thuney here, and I could move Ezra Cleveland to right guard. How much does he want? He wants $20 million. I don't think that's in the budget, especially with Trevor Lawrence's pending contract. With a backloaded contracts coming up, Odafe Ways here. Kendall Fuller would have been better than Mike Hilton, so that's unfortunate. Taylor Moton, I just don't want, and I know I need to improve the offensive line. These options just aren't looking ideal to me. Now, after free agency, I got a new punter in AJ Cole. Yes, he's 30, but he's an 87 overall. I got Rasul Douglas on a 1-year contract, so a lot of 1-year corners for us just to fill in the depth. DJ Reader was a bit expensive, but it's only a 1-year deal. Then an interesting move here that I kind of like. Alec Pierce, he's 26 years old, star development, not a bad contract at all, only 3 years. I don't want anything to do with Gabe Davis. He's just not good. And then I got Ted Karkas here as a 1-year center player. Did I say Ted Karras? I don't know how you say that last name, but Ted, we got on a 1-year deal. So with that being said, I just don't want Gabe Davis. I have to pay him $17 million in this next year. How much would it take to dump? I would save so much money just by dumping this dude. I'm saving $13 million. Yes, I could trade him for like a 6th or a 7th round pick. I just don't even care. He can just walk. Doesn't make a difference to me. I need a right guard in the draft. Walker Little's contract is about to be up. I might honestly just re-sign him because the O-line isn't the best, but the defense, I mean, we got DJ Reader on one more year for that deal. And then everything else here, the depth looks really nice. I still want a new strong safety over Darnell Savage. I don't look to change that. Well, I don't look to keep him on the team, so I do look to change that. Sorry, poor wording. Anyways, let's move into the draft. In the draft, the Titans get the #1 overall pick. Better be a QB, and it is a defensive end. All right. And the Falcons make the right move, actually drafting a defensive end instead of a 24-year-old backup QB. As we are at pick number 24, let's see what we have. There is a right guard here. I just don't like picking offensive lineman in the first round. I know that's such a stingy thing to say. In real life, it's okay. In Madden, you can get them in the second and third rounds, no sweat. But there is a strong safety here, Thurman Mann. Wow, what a name. That's like naming your kid John Johnson. Oh wait, the Rams already did it. But doesn't seem bad. Just very balanced across the board. 6'2", 207, hybrid out of Texas Tech. Physical power player who delivers bone-crushing hits. I think they just all deliver bone-crushing hits at this point. And then there's second or third rounders. This guy has B awareness. Let's look at him. Thad Richardson, Thad Castle, baby. Good. Very balanced. I know what I'm getting out of this guy, though. The other guy, I'm hidden on a lot of the other things. B awareness, B block shedding, B hit power, just B's everywhere. 5'9", 205. Not as big as the other guy. The other guy, Thurman Mann, does not look as good. I hate saying that name as well. His speed is better, but he does look balanced here. He doesn't show me the things I actually need to see in a lot of the things. I think the other guy here, Thad Richardson, I think I'm going to pull the trigger on him and just make this reach over the other guy. Thad Richardson, let's see what you got. If you have normal development, I'm going to punch you. Ranked number 10 in the class, got him at 24. Oh my gosh, I'm going to punch you. And the right guard class is total buns. Let's go look at the left guard class. There's a second or third rounder here. Vince Looker out of Washington State, 6'3", 301. Elite change direction, solid strength. A's across the board, sure. We're going to pull the trigger on that. You better have hidden development. Ranked 27 in the class, got him at 56. Dude, come on. Jaden Stewart here, defensive tackle out of Georgia, 6'1", 301 here. Great speed, elite jumping, great acceleration, solid strength, A's and B's across the board. Pulling the trigger on him. We have 2 third-round picks, and he's ranked 87 in the class. Normal development, dude. I feel like I'm scouting these guys so well, and the normal developments are pissing me off, man. And we get another third-round pick. Phil Dalton in the third round, day 3 projection, but his athleticism looks good. He has A, sure, he has F run block, but he's a pass blocking archetype. I'm sure he's going to have normal development. Ranked 64 in the class, got him at 88. Hidden development. Of course, the guy that I think has normal development has hidden development. He's going to be the starter immediately just because of the development. After the draft, Thad Richardson, good overall, normal dev. Vince Looker, good overall, normal dev. Jaden Stewart, solid overall, normal development. Phil Dalton, hidden development. That was a good pick. I stopped drafting after that. So after the draft, this is what we got going on. Dalton here is going to be the starting center, and then Harris as well is actually not bad. Looker is going to be at the right guard position. Actually, now that I think about it, since Harris did originally play left guard, moving him from left guard to center to right guard on the opposite position, I guess just doesn't seem that bad, and he's just a higher overall in general. So he's going to be the starter there. We're going to have Dalton here. I know Ted is a higher overall. I just don't care. Jackson here looks like the AI picked up the second string tight end, so we're going to move him up so that way he can get more reps. Yeah, he is a tight end. I was just making sure. AI also picked up a hidden development running back. I mean, Bryant's a baller. Alec Pierce is going to be in the slot. Brian Thomas is going to be the number 2. O-line doesn't look the best, but the overalls really aren't that bad. 87 overall team. And then we got DJ Reader, Mason Smith. We got Carter as well, Trayvon Walker. Nice depth at the corner position, of course, and I didn't really get the strong safety that I wanted, but Thad Richardson's going to be the starter. Hopefully he can get Defensive Rookie of the Year. I doubt he will. Everything else looks good here. Alec Pierce is going to be in the slot, not Bryant's. Everyone else looks good as well. Fosetta Luakon, Devin Lloyd. We're going to have a Luakon be the starting sub linebacker. Again, everything looks good. 87 overall team. We're 13-4 at an 86 overall team last year. So theoretically, we should be slightly bit better. 4-3, not 5-2 this time, coming off of back-to-back losses to the Eagles and the Browns. I guess their new quarterback is working out pretty well for them. We're 7th seed in our conference, 2nd in our division. We have a D-line breakout challenge as well here. Let's see who we got. And it's going to be Trayvon Walker, get 4 tackles for a loss or a loss for a dev upgrade. Okay, I thought it meant he was going to lose a development. I would be like, no, that's stupid, especially since we're playing the Chiefs, which we're not going to do. Coming off a loss, and Josh Hines-Allens has 4 sacks and interception, 9 tackles, but Trayvon Walker gets the breakout challenge. I know you can still get breakout challenges despite being an X factor. You'll just get more XP. Scouting national focus. Do I have to go offensive line here? I honestly just don't even want to. Defensive tackle, sure. I know some people are not going to like that move. I don't really care. I think our offensive line is mid, but it's not really that big of a deal. Tank Bigsby, I wouldn't mind back as depth. Honestly, $4 million a year really isn't bad. I'll dish that out for Tank Bigsby. He can stay. Ezra Cleveland, $10 million a year to be an 81 overall. I don't think so. Offensive line is going to get worse. We'll decide at the end of the year. I'm hung on that right now. Rasul Douglas, maybe. Darnell Savage, I've already decided no. Parker Washington can walk. Jack Gibbons has not been bad depth. I'll sign him to another 2-year contract. He can just stay as a backup for our linebacking core. Brent Strange can walk. Walker Little, how much do you want now? $10 million a year to be an average guy. I'm good. DJ Reader, I'm good. Abdullah, I'm good. James Burns, all these other extras can walk. I'll probably accept, well, I will actually definitely accept the option for Brian Thomas Jr. We'll figure out Ezra Cleveland at the end of the year. Let's see if we can even make the playoffs. In year number 3, back-to-back wins here gets us a playoff spot here in the wild card. 11-6 here to face the Buffalo Bills, who we are better than in every single way. And then our offense here, first in passing yards, 4th in points per game, and then we also have 4th in points per game, not first, my bad. 28.5 is amazing, and then we get the 3 seed in our conference and we take the division. Stats and awards, Trevor Lawrence looks like a league MVP player here, and he's gonna be 5th for league MVP, but 1st in passing yards, 4th in passing touchdowns, 6th in pass rating, best offense in the NFL, and 10th best defense here, as he has 42 touchdowns to 11 receptions, 111 pass rating, 4,800 yards, and then rushing wise, he also has 7 rushing touchdowns as well, and he also has 300 rushing yards, so over 5,000 yards. He has 49 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. How did Patrick Mahomes outperform him there? Like, really? Did he seriously do that well? Here, he has less interceptions, 44 touchdowns. His rushing wise, he has 6 touchdowns, so he does have 50 touchdowns, and then he has a little bit less total yards than us, but he does have the better pass rating, so I guess he did outperform us. But still, Trevor Lawrence, amazing year from him. Just, I guess, a little bit too many interceptions for MVP, but still, again, great year from him. Travis Etienne, 1 fumble, 10 touchdowns, 4.6 average, 1,100 yards, good year from him as well. Alec Pierce, W pickup, dude, massive steal, 16 touchdowns, 1,400 yards, that's superstar development. Greg Bryant, still producing, 10 touchdowns, 1,000 yards, despite his lack of production in the slot now. Now that I've taken him out of the slot and he's just a wide receiver 1 now, he's not going to produce as much, but Alec Pierce and him are balling. Brian Thomas, also over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Evan Ingram, 6 touchdowns, 800 yards. Foyesade Oluokun with 101 tackles for a loss, 15 for Walker, 12 for Hines Allen and DJ Reader, and then sacks, 28 for Hines Allen, 12 for Trayvon Walker, 5.5 for Mason Smith. Let's look at the NFL record for the most sacks in a season. Most sacks in a season is Josh Hines Allen, breaking the record in 2026. And then the pass deflections on the team, 11 for Oluokun, 9 for Tyson Campbell, 8 for Thad Richardson. Thad Richardson also with an interception, no sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, 74 tackles. That's a great rookie season from him. And then safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. Can we beat the Buffalo Bills to get our first wild card win of this rebuild? And we do. 28-24 here to face the 10-7 New England Patriots, and most likely Drake May. I'm assuming they didn't move on from him. We beat them 31-24 here to face the 10-7 Anthony Richardson Colts. I'm going to make sure it is the Anthony Richardson Colts. And it is the Anthony Richardson Colts, as he has normal development. That is surprising. And of course, I do not have development regression on in this, so I guess EA gave him normal development because he definitely didn't regress to that, because again, I have that setting off. Let's see if we can beat our division rival to move on to the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure the Jaguars have never even appeared in a Super Bowl in real life. Here we are against the Colts. They're going to open up with a punt. We're going to start with a punt as well. They're going to strike first, 7-0 game, 7-7, thanks to our defense putting us in good field position. 14-7 at halftime. We open up 0.5. Too fast pace of a game right now, 28-7, beating down the Colts. And Alec Pierce will get his revenge game on the Colts in the conference championship, 28-14. And I think the Jaguars will now be moving on to their first ever Super Bowl. I don't know if they've appeared in one before. And here we are in the Super Bowl, here to face the 13-4 Green Bay Packers. Trevor Lawrence now gets superstar development. He's up to an 88 overall with the boost, 95 with the boost, obviously. You got Alec Pierce here getting superstar development. You love to see it there. Star development for Dalton. He's already above Ted in terms of overall for the boost, so you like to see that. Harris has actually developed as well. Anton Harrison and Harris as well. Walker Little, decent overall. And then 89 overall team. Thad Richardson doesn't get an upgrade. Really unfortunate. But Oluokun and Trayvon Walker both get superstar X factor. Tyson Campbell goes back to a superstar development. He was a superstar development in the previous Madden. Fulton's up to a 91 with the boost. Rasul Douglas doing well. Everyone on the team is doing well now. Really was hoping that Thad Richardson would get a star development at least, but let's see if we can beat the Green Bay Packers for the Jacksonville Jaguars to win their first ever Super Bowl. Here we are against the Packers. They're going to start out with a punt. We're going to start out with a punt in our opponent's territory, and we will finally score first. 3-0 against the Packers. Very dull game. 3-0 at halftime, opening up half with only 3 points. Nobody has a touchdown yet. Please do something. 12-0 against the Packers. This defense is amazing. Super stale Super Bowl, but the Jacksonville Jaguars will win their first ever Super Bowl in history. 15-7 versus the Packers. Our defense came in clutch there, even though our offense is ranked number 1 in the league and our defense is ranked number 10. Still, W here, as that was only year 3. We still have one more year. Let's see if we can go back-to-back Super Bowls here, as it looks like Trevor Lawrence's contract paid off, as he threw, I mean, not a crazy game, but definitely not bad, I guess. Your Super Bowl MVP is Alec Pierce. I was about to be like, there's no way Trevor Lawrence gets it after throwing for 150 yards and only 1 touchdown. But any other upgrades, well, any other yearly awards for the Jaguars, there is Josh Allen gets Defensive Player of the Year for setting the record for the most sacks in a season. Saxonville is back, baby, and we will see if we can go to back-to-back Super Bowls. In the AFC South, Shaq Mason, Zadarius Smith, and Ted retires on the bench with a ring, a W, man. For the players ready to negotiate, I'm going to accept the option for Brian Thomas. Ezra Cleveland, I doubt I'm going to get someone better. It's the final season, and he says no anyways after winning the Super Bowl. Wow, that's crazy. Darnell Savage, I'm going to let walk. Rasul Douglas, honestly, might as well just keep him. Only $4 million for an 80 overall. I'll definitely take that. Parker Washington, Brandon Strange, Walker Little. Honestly going to let him walk. I think there could be something better in free agency. So Walker Little is going to walk. Haha, I'm so funny. But yeah, he's going to walk. But if we find him in free agency and there's nothing better, I'll take him back. He has an interest with the team. DJ Reader can leave as well, along with Mike Hilton, who gets a Super Bowl ring. Let's see what we have in free agency. Brian Branch is here. Oh my gosh. I know I just used a first-round pick on a strong safety, but that's something I can't pass up, and there's already people targeting him. I'm going to have to pay him $20 million for his final year. I mean, it's the final season, the rebuild, so why not? Charvarius Ward as well as here, but I don't really want him. We have Tevin Jenkins. Ooh. After free agency, we got Brian Branch. I got Tevin Jenkins and Ezra Cleveland, so I'm going to move Tevin Jenkins back to offensive tackle because he did play offensive tackle at some point in college. Ezra Cleveland's just back. I had to pay him a little bit more to come back, but we do have improvements for the team. So the O-line doesn't look bad now. 85 overall, 85, 83, 85, 84. The overalls aren't bad, just some normal developments. Evan Ingram is still an 88 overall with the boost. I said Evan Ingram, not Evan Ingram, my bad, but either way, the team looks still really good. 90 overall team, of course, with all the boost. Going to be looking to get a depth defensive tackle in this draft. I'm going to say good on corner, maybe. I don't even really need depth at linebacker either. So I'm going to focus on getting a defensive tackle here, and that's really all I need. So let's just go focus on that. Buccaneers get the #1 overall pick, and they pick a defensive end. Pick 32 in the draft. Probably going to reach on some type of defensive tackle here. There's a strong safety. I'm so excited to pick another safety. Just kidding. Philip Stevenson, top defensive tackle on the board. Great strength, good speed, good acceleration. Looks good across the board. Sure, I'm not even going to waste any more time. It ranks 67 in the class. Hidden development. Sure, I'll take it. And I got depth outside linebacker for us. Run stopper ranked. He was projected in round 3. We were at the end of round 2. Hidden development, 6'3", 250. Now the hidden developments are rolling in after I've won the Super Bowl, of course. And honestly, I just don't even care about my 3rd round pick. I don't even care about the rest of this draft. I don't need anything else. After the draft, Stevenson and Cumberland here, didn't even know his last name was that, are 72 and 73. Obviously, stopped drafting after that. In the AI drafts like doo-doo, they got a 6th round middle linebacker here, normal development. Now this is the team moving into the 4th and final year. The AI picked up a hidden development receiver for us because why not? I mean, the team is great. 90 overall team. Told you Trevor Lawrence was a baller in simulation. Hopefully he can be like that in real life. Cumberland is up to a 76 overall. I'm going to move Stevenson up 1 position. Nice depth here. Mason Smith still has a higher overall, so even though he's normal development, we're going to keep him there. Fosa Aluakon has regressed pretty hard down to an 83, but he still has an X factor here. Got Brian Branch, of course, a lot of depth at the corner position, as I always seem to mention. Fulton has surpassed Tyson Campbell now. I guess Tyson Campbell, is he 28, 29 now? He is 27, really. I guess Craig Fulton is just that guy. And specialist-wise, Alec Pierce is going back in the slot. Tank Bigsby, sure, you can have the power half back position. Fosa Aluakon, he's 3 overalls lower now, so actually, no, he has the X factor. That does make a difference in simulation. Everything else looks pretty good here. So apart from that, 90 overall team. Let's see see if we can go back-to-back Super Bowls. No point to going to the midseason mark because it's the 4th and final year. Let's just skip into the playoffs. 15-2, top of the division, #1 seed in the conference. That's what I'm talking about. We also have weekly awards here after coming off a blowout win to the Titans. Trevor Lawrence, 4 passing touchdowns and over 250 total yards, including his rushing yards, of course, as we beat the Colts 20-17, then blow out the Titans 31-3. Trevor Lawrence, top 5 QB in the NFL probably, or at least top 10 here. Brock Purdy on the Rams goes to a division rival, wins league MVP. Mahomes 2, Trevor Lawrence 3 here, as he's 5th in passing yards, 12th in passing touchdowns, 9th in passer rating, 3rd best offense in the NFL, 3rd best defense. Overall, I guess that's better. 4,500 yards, 32 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions, 110 pass rating. You could argue that this is better because less interceptions, but it's also less touchdowns, less yards, but also 1 less point on passer rating. But still, great year. Travis Etienne, 3 fumbles. My gosh, I don't think I've seen a single season with 0 fumbles with this guy, but 15 touchdowns, 4.1 average, 1,000 yards for him. Greg Bryant here with 1,200 yards, 5 touchdowns. I'm going to keep glazing this pick. This was a major steal, top 5 player, fell in our lap at pick number 11. Absolute W. Alec Pierce, 10 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. Brian Thomas Jr., just shy of 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Evan Ingram, who's been very underrated for us, 5 touchdowns, 900 yards. I haven't looked at the blocking yet, but 11 sacks allowed for the left tackle. I don't know if that's really bad for a left tackle, but I know offensive tackles give up the most sacks in the NFL. This guy Harris is allowing quite a bit at guard, though. Then Dalton only allowing 3. Anton Harrison 2. Ezra Cleveland only 2 as well. Anton Harrison doing really good. Foyesade Oluokun with 111 tackles for a loss, 14 for Walker, 7 for Hines Allen, 7 for Mason Smith. Sacks, 21.5 for Hines Allen, 15 for Walker, 11 for Mason Smith. Mason Smith, underrated, dude. 6 for Philip Stevenson. Interceptions, 5 for Craig Fulton, 3 for Oluokun, and then 3 for Tyson Campbell. Deflections, my bad. 9 for Tyson Campbell, 7 for Brian Branch, 6 for Fulton, who's been great for us. Safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns at 0. Let's see who we're going to play in the divisional round, and we're going to be playing the 11-6 Los Angeles Chargers. I bet they want their revenge after choking a 27-0 lead in the playoffs. They don't get it. 21-14 here to face the 12-5 Buffalo Bills. I honestly don't care. I'll hop into the Super Bowl if we don't make it, but if we don't, we don't. It's fine. And did we go to the Super Bowl? I wish it would tell us. And we did go to the Super Bowl, winning 35-27. I don't know why it didn't show that, but we're going to be facing the league MVP, the Rams, Brock Purdy. Our league MVP is 11-6, 87 overall team. We're 4 overalls higher than them. We should crush them. Back-to-back Super Bowls. Didn't think we would actually do it, but we're here. I'll hop into that game. No upgrades for Trevor Lawrence. Still not an X factor. Bryant here, not an X factor along with Pierce. Disappointing, but still not bad. 91 overall team. Really, really happy with how well I built this team. Mason Smith having 11 sacks on the year as a defensive tackle, not even getting star development, is a total slap in the face. If you want to call it cheating, you can. I'm only giving him star development. It's not that big of a deal. Dude had 11 sacks. He's been great for us the entire rebuild. He deserves at least star development. Not that big of a deal. Fulton's been amazing, and he gets superstar development as well. Everyone else here looks good. Cumberland comes with star development, and Stevenson also comes with star development as well. 92 overall team now, and apart from that, guys, let's see what we got here against the Los Angeles Rams to see if we can get back-to-back Super Bowl wins for this poverty franchise. Here we are against the Los Angeles Rams. They're going to open up with a strong 7. We're going to respond back with 7. They're going to make it a 14-7 game. Where's our 3rd best defense in the league when you need them? 17-14.5, opening up half with another 3 points. They're going to respond with a touchdown. We're getting close, 26-21, coming down to the wire. We have the ball. Key moments. Game is on the line here. We have 40 seconds left. That was a terrible punt. What are they doing? That was an awful punt here. Let's try and see if we can stop the Rams from scoring here, as they need a touchdown. And I'm on the wrong guy. I'm on Mason Smith automatically, and we're coming off the edge, and there's Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker for the Jacksonville, and that will be a runoff down to 17 seconds left. Commit to the pass here. Obviously, that's going to be play action. He's going to throw it away. Elite choice, I guess. 3rd and 20. They need a miracle. Back this team up with 3rd and 20. 12 seconds left. Brock Purdy here. Kyron Williams, superstar X Factors down the field. Just back this whole team up. He's scrambling for his life. Somebody go after him. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. He's going to throw the ball away. 4th and 25 seconds left. 3-man deep here. Got a deep zone. We got man coverage here. Just somebody gets the QB. He's going to throw it deep. He needs the Hail Mary. And oh my gosh, I saw number 15 have his hands on it. Almost had a heart attack. But your Jacksonville Jaguars will bring Saxonville back. And you will be back-to-back Super Bowl champions, beating the Brock Purdy Los Angeles Rams. And this will be a mega successful rebuild for this poverty franchise. As Trevor Lawrence here fails to reach 200 yards in the Super Bowl again, but 120 pass rating, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions here. ETN 4.4 average and a touchdown for him as well. Any Jaguars having a baller game on defense receiving wise? Bryant with a touchdown, 66 yards. Yeah, Alec Pierce is definitely not going to get the Super Bowl MVP again with 1 reception, 19 yards. But defensively here, Craig Fulton, well, he got Trayvon Walker with 1.5 sack, and then he also has 1 tackle for a loss. Any interceptions? 1 for Brian Branch. Was it a pick 6? It was not a pick 6. So Trevor Lawrence will probably get the Super Bowl MVP here. Your Super Bowl MVP is Trevor Lawrence. League MVP is Brock Purdy. Doug Peterson wins Coach of the Year. No other awards here for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But anyways, guys, I thank you guys all for watching. This was definitely a successful rebuild. The Jaguars are 2 for 2 here. Not 2 and 2. 2 for 2 here in this rebuild. Hopefully they can do that in real life. Highly doubt they will. But anyways, guys, once again, I thank you guys all for watching. Make sure you guys like and or subscribe. Let me know down in the comments below which team you want me to rebuild next. And I'll see you guys all in the next one.